Okay, everyone, thank you so much for coming back for our final section for new consultant training. This is going to cover steps 5 through 7. I am going to do a quick overview of the first couple of steps just to make sure that everyone knows where to find things and you're feeling comfortable with that type of access. So can you see my screen where it says run your parties? Okay, great. All right, so let's go back just a tad bit here. All righty. Okay, so I wanted to just start off real quickly to make sure that everyone has really one of the more crucial parts of our training process, which is the 7 steps to fast track success, as well as the Read Rockstar board. So if you do not have that, if you could take a moment and put that in the chat, that you do not have either this document called the 7 steps to fast track success, or you do not have boards. Those are going to be the 2 integral pieces to your training process to help you feel on track. So I wanted to bring this screen up here just so we can kind of quickly overview what we've already covered, and then we're going to dive a little deeper into steps 5 through 7, as well as the other resources. So obviously the very first step is going through Google Docs and downloading boards. So you want to make sure that you've done those 2 things so you can have access to this board as well as access to the 7 steps. The second part of it is giving you a broad overview of what you can expect in the sense of how to get your business started, who you're going to reach out to find your training and support. And if you haven't already opened up the 7 steps checklist, that covers you from steps 1 through 4. That is going to be super helpful as well, because as you go through each of the steps, you're going to be able to then check off and say, okay, I did this, and that just ensures that you won't miss any steps. The welcome to our team gives you an overview of basically where we get our parties, how we track our parties, how we get more bookings, and so on. And then on step 3, it dives deeper into that booking opportunity. So let's go there for a quick minute. And this, just to give you an example, this is what the checklist looks like blown up. So as you go through step 1, you can say, okay, yeah, I've done Google Docs. I've set up my 4 calls with my director. I have the 7 steps. I have my Google Drive set up. I have the boards. I have the Read Rockstar boards. And that way, you know, you're not missing anything. And those are the integral pieces are the Google Drive docs, as well as the boards and the 7 steps. All right, then you have the 7 steps checklist. And then we have book your first parties. And this is where I want to stop here. One more. Hold on 1 second. We'll get there. Okay, I want to stop here. So this is the document we talked about on our last training call, but it is the document that you are going to be diving into on a daily basis, especially if you are doing your reach outs. You remember when we talked about our last training call, we talked about the fact of the importance of scheduling at that 30-minute slot 1 day a week, or excuse me, 30-minute slot for 5 days in a row. That's where you're going to get your reach outs done. So 30 reach outs should take you about 30 minutes. And if you can carve out 30 minutes a day for the next 5 days in a row, or continuing on where you left off, this is where you're going to get your bookings. I will tell you, I love when I see things happen. In other words, we share the tips, we see the reaction happen, or we share the tips, you do the work, we see the results, right? So my last 2 consultants that just signed up a week and a half ago, one of them has 12 parties from doing just this step. And the other one in 24 hours has 8 parties. And the only thing that they did is they did their 30 reach outs a day. Well, the one girl just started, so she just did her first bout of reach outs and got 8 bookings on her calendar. The other one is doing 30 reach outs a day, each and every day. And it works, guys. This is the only part that you have to kind of hold your feet to the fire and make it happen. And the cool thing about this is that you have everything at your fingertips. So right here, you're going to watch this video. You click this link. It's a 5-minute video. It tells you exactly what to do. It's going to say, here are your first words. Use these first words to get your results. You're going to pick the words that you feel most comfortable with. Then you're going to send out your first message, and the person is going to say no. What do you do from there? You click this box. This box is going to say, Nancy, when you get a no, this is how you respond. Nancy, when you get a yes, this is how you respond. Erica, when you get a no because, this is how you're going to respond. And when they don't respond, this is what you're going to say. So you guys have a very powerful resource sitting right here. Sometimes it's just a matter of, where do I find this, right? And that sometimes can be where the trick lies. So I want to show you 2 places. Obviously, number 1, you're going to find it in the 7 steps under how to book your first parties. And then you're also going to find it in boards. So I want to make sure that everybody has this board, because this is where you will get your additional training, resources, tips, words to say, words to use when recruiting, when you're booking parties, and when you're coaching your host. So everyone should have this Read Rockstar training board. And we went through a couple of these the last time, but I want to highlight them once more. So you'll see here, Read Rockstar, files are in alpha order, and literally starts at the 7 steps. So if you need to go into the 7 steps, click this link. And if you need to book parties, then you're simply going to go to book your first parties. And then if you need the words to follow up, you click here, and here are all your words. When they don't respond, you say this. When they say no, you say this. When they say yes, you say this. Everything is here right at your fingertips. So what I would encourage you to do, if you're not feeling super connected to the board yet, it's probably just because you haven't been in it long enough. So here's one thing I want to suggest that you do. Let's say, for example, you need to figure out where to book. I can't figure out where book your first party is. If you go Control F, that means Control Find, and you put in the word book, it's going to tell me that bookings is in this document 21 times. And that's going to help me find every item in here that talks about bookings. So Control F is going to be your best friend when it comes to finding things. So think about a keyword and then search that keyword. But here's what I always recommend. If you cannot find something within 5 minutes, wave the white flag, let us know so we can say it's going to be in boards and here's the path. So that way you'll get an idea, you'll be able to move on to the next thing, and you won't be wasting time in that particular section. Here's more training on boards, anything about policies, procedures with Pampered Chef, e-cookbooks. I'm in this board every single day. This is Everybody Wins. So I'm in here sending out my 30 to 50 messages every day from people in my party. Facebook, any technical things that are helpful in Facebook. And then you're going to be using this every day too. Remember, we talked about you cannot be successful without your host, and your host cannot be successful without you. So when you want to set up your first parties, you're going to go in here. This is that pinned post. This is how you set up your Facebook parties. So all of this is here for you. You just kind of need to navigate around and figure out where you are. So if you're setting up your first parties, you're here. If you're in pre-party, today would be a pre-party day. So I would click on Monday, and these are all the things I would send to my host on Monday. So she knows how to invite her friends and why it's important to invite 150 and why we want 40 people in the party and all of those good factors that play into a good party. And then I'll just continue to click the back arrow and I'm back out on the Read Rockstar board. Everyone's going to need access to the template, right? Because you're going to need this template to put it in your parties. So this is where you're going to grab the March and April template. All you're going to do is click this link. It says Post My Party. It's going to bring the entire template right into your Post My Party. And then these are some of the images for the games that are in the template. And you just got to edit the template. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about our training. I just wanted to go over some of those here with you. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about step 5, 6, and 7. So let's get down to that section. So this is kind of like what I would say the nitty-gritty, but it's kind of not like exciting and fun. But it is the most exciting and fun part because this is where you make your money. So these are like all the things you have to do behind the scenes. So on the ending of your party, you can say, woohoo, I just, made $300 or I just made $100 or whatever the case may be. So we just can't say, okay, Nancy, you're my host and go into your party and figure it all out and we'll talk to you at the end of the party, right? We have to give her the tips for success. So you guys have it all outlined here for you. And so step 5 is run your parties. Parties start on Friday, they end on Wednesday, and I typically extend it to a Friday. So here's Monday, I'm opening up my parties, I'm starting to invite my host to the party, getting her to start inviting. I like to start early because here's what I know. If I wait until Tuesday or Wednesday, I got to have a host that's really on the ball because she's got to get 150 people invited in a snap. But if I could start setting up my parties, my pre-party functions on Monday, then I got a little cushion to play with. And so I'd rather have a little cushion than put her under the gun. So that is the way that I choose to do it, which is just one day earlier than what Stacy does. But because I work full time, I've got to have a little bit of a cushion. So here are the pre-party actions 1 week before the party. These are the things that you'll want to do. Now, here's my suggestion. If you use some sort, let's say your boss at work says, okay, Tammy, you need to have a PowerPoint presentation done to talk about how we're going to build the next house by Friday. Okay, so your boss just gave you a couple of tasks that need to be done by Friday. So think about what you do in your full-time job and how you remember to do those tasks. And those tasks are going to be applicable to what we do with Pampered Chef. So for me, in my full-time job, we use Outlook. So I'll go into Outlook on my personal account and I will set up all of these reminders. So 1 week before every Monday, I have this message, confirm party with host. I'll just copy all this, put it in on a Monday, put it in on Monday. And this is everything I need to do on Monday, 1 week prior to the party, or the Friday before the party, I'm sorry. Then on Monday, these are the things that I need to do for the party. So I'm just going to copy, paste it on a Monday and make it a recurring event. So every Monday I get a reminder. It's time to link the party. It's time to print the tracker. It's time to send Monday pre-party host coaching messages. All of these links, there's links behind them that says this is what you need to do. So you may even want to say, okay, today's Monday. I need to send the host coaching message out to all of my hosts. And you take that message and you put it behind the appointment on your calendar, or just put the appointment on your calendar. On Monday, I need to do X, Y, Z, and then go to boards and do X, Y, Z, and Monday's done. Then on Tuesday, you go back in, you need to do X, Y, Z, go into boards, pull off X, Y, Z, and you're done. And that's really the best way to do it, is to have something to remind you each and every day on what you need to do. So tomorrow, if that is your party setup day, you're going to create your party, these parties on Facebook. You're going to add the banner and the pin post. So if you remember, we were just in boards and it said pin post. That's the post you put into your party. Then you're going to connect Post My Party to the Facebook group. And then you're going to send Tuesday's pre-party host coaching message. So again, copy and paste all of this, put it in on Tuesday as a recurring message. So every Tuesday it pops up and says, this is what you need to do for your host. Wednesday pre-party, I'm going to welcome the new members. You're going to click this link right here. It's going to give you the words to use, or you can use boards, and either one works. They're both the same. It just depends on which one you like. You're going to note on the tracker, there are now 20 people in the party, or whatever the case may be. You're then going to send the pre-party host coaching messages to your host, and you're also going to send the past host a message letting her know how to order through the party. But all of that is in boards on Wednesday pre-party. So you'll click the boards, you'll click Wednesday, and all of this will pop up. So I use the reminders to trigger me to take the action, and I use boards to do the action. So that's how it works best for me. Then we have pre-party Thursday. So we're coming, it's now what, Monday today, we're going to head into Thursday. We're going to welcome all the new guests that just came into the party with the message that sits behind here. We're going to send reminders to the guests that haven't joined. You can do this from your computer. You can do this from your phone, or you can create this automated extension. And this is what I do. My system reminds everybody automatically. I just click a button and all the reminders go out. The automated reminder takes 5 minutes to set up, and it's just a Chrome extension that sits right at the top of your computer. So here is my Chrome extension. You see that little bell with the exclamation point? I just open up my parties, click the bell, and everyone is reminded. Super easy. I personally have to go for efficiency, for time, and I'm sure most of you do as well. So on Thursday, you're going to send the pre-party individual message to each individual host. But then if you are working, which hopefully you are working with more than one host at one time, you're going to put all of your hosts in a group chat. So that way, throughout the rest of the week, you're only sending one message versus 4 or 5, depending upon how many hosts you have that week. And then you send this Thursday group message to your host. And that's that. And Thursday's done. So all of your pre-party is done. So let's wrap this up. So every Friday, I go in the week before the party and I just confirm, hey, are we still on? I don't say that, obviously. I use the message that's in the board. Sunday, I do everything one day early. Sunday, I go in, I send her her host dashboard link. Why do you think I send a dashboard link to her? What does the dashboard link do? Anybody know?
Access to see their sales, to see what towards the end what their rewards are, what they earned.
Yep, exactly. So there's another action, another action that goes with that as well that really is helpful. And when they create their dashboard, when we create their dashboard link, they can create a wish list. So if I know that Erica wants the air fryer and the mixer, and she doesn't invite 150 people, then I can say, Erica, oh my gosh, I so want to help you get the mixer and the air fryer. You're only 50 people away from that kind of sweet spot of inviting 150. Can you get 50 more people added today? But if I don't know what Erica wants, it's kind of like asking Erica to do something, but there's no reward for Erica because she doesn't know what the end result is. So if I know what my hosts want, then I have a way to dangle a carrot to get them to do a little bit more. And they appreciate that because they don't know what it takes to have a successful party, but we do because we have everything in front of us that tells us what to do. So just follow the processes that are here for you to make your life a lot easier. So let's talk about the party. The party starts on a Friday. It ends on a Wednesday. So let's talk about what we do. So this is party day number 1. Welcome your new guest. So you're just going to click the right post in Facebook and it's going to say, send this message. And then it says, send a personalized voice clip to your host. Why do you think we're going to switch things up and send a voice clip? A voice clip is instead of them reading something, they're hearing something. Why do you think we do that?
Makes it more personal, makes it real.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good job, Jessica. That's exactly what it does. Because here's the thing. Anybody can read a text, right? Which is fine, but you're going to give them text after text after text. Why not let them hear your voice inflection and how excited you are? You can even record a 1-minute message with your face and just read right off of your screen. So they can not only hear you, but they can see you as well. And that brings everything to life. So it creates the authenticity and they get the voice excitement. So if you're not ready for the video, do the voice. The voice is just as well, and they can hear how excited you are. When I have somebody who is like, I think is going to be like just a crazy, amazing consultant, or I really want this person on my team, I do not waste time with a text. I literally will send them a video of everything I want to say so they can see how excited I am and I want them, on my team type of thing. Or at the very minimum, I will send them a voice text versus an actual text. Plus, sometimes I think it's easier to explain things by voice versus by text. So again, it's up to you, but those are some things that really help. So on Saturday, we are going to welcome the new guests. So you'll see the trend here. Every single day, we are welcoming new guests because hopefully new people are joining. Not every day does that happen, but most oftentimes it does. Then you're going to invite the guests that reacted to a post to like your business page. And there's a 4 or 5 minute video that sits behind here that shows you how to do it. And Susan at our last team meeting taught us how to do this as well. Why do we want them to like our business page? There's a twofold reason. Number one, when we go live, or if we go live, or when a live video comes out, if they've liked our business page, they get a notification. But it also provides customer service, because not everyone is going to join your VIP page. But if you can get them to at least like your business page, every time you do something on your business page, they're going to get a notification. So it builds up over time and can really multiply quickly. So again, you're going to send a Saturday host coaching message to the entire host group. This is the time that you're going to announce the game winner, and you're going to note that on the party tracker. So if you remember in step 3, we gave you 3 or 4 different options for party trackers. So you might want to write down party tracker step 3, so you can go back and decide which tracker you're going to use, because it's going to be hard for you to remember who won game number 1 on Friday and who won game number 4 on Monday, right? It's going to be impossible to remember. So write their names down on the tracker, so that way they know they're getting their prizes and you know you're following through and everybody's happy, right? Okay, so you're also going to thank the guest that order and note it on your tracker. Here is the text. You just click this button here, and now you have the thank you text. Now, just to save yourself some time, you can take this link and put it in boards and make a board called thank you text. And every time you send a thank you, you just click the board message and send it on. So it's click, copy, copy, click, copy, click, copy, all that good stuff. Super easy, right? Same thing that we do with Everybody Wins, makes it super easy. So now we're on to Sunday, okay? On Sunday, you'll see the trend. We're welcoming the new guests. So every single day we're doing that. We're inviting again the guests who have liked the reacted in our party to like our business page. We are then sending the host coaching message to our host group. We are announcing the winner, thanking people, and sending individual texts. So you kind of see the trend here. The first day or 2, you have a little bit of uniqueness, and then we start to do pretty much the same thing each and every day. And then on these last couple of days, we start doing a little bit of different things. So again, we do the welcome, just like we do on Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, party day 4 and 5. We send Monday's host coaching message on day 4. We send Tuesday's host coaching message on day 5. We announce the game winners in both spots. And then we continue to track our results. Send any gifts from the Wahoo Weekend Challenge that we had. And then this is a very, very important day. It says here, send individual, oops, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. Here it is. Increase your party sales, do reminder tags in the party. Guys, this is a big one. This one usually on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my sales usually bump up about $200 to $400 in sales. Not always, but generally speaking, that's the day we see massive turns. Like sometimes my host will message me on Sunday and say, well, this is going to be a flop. And I'm like, don't give up. Trust me, things start to turn very, very quickly as the week turns into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I always say, hang in there. We're going to be okay. And most times we are. So the tagging is simple. I'm going to go into the party. I'm going to have my tracker in front of me, and I'm going to know that 5 people have already ordered, right? Because I'm going to be tracking that Nancy ordered, Carol ordered, Lisa ordered, and so on. But I also know that there are 15, 20 other members in the party that haven't ordered yet. So everybody needs a reminder who has not ordered. And I remind everyone who has ordered and everyone who has not ordered, because this is what I do. Sometimes what happens is people order on the very first day of the party, and they're going to see all this content coming through the rest of the days. So I offer them a discounted shipping rate. I do eat that cost of the discounted rate. They pay $4.95 and I pay $3. So I just reimburse them $3. But you know what I get? Multiple times I get 2 or 3 orders from Lori or 2 or 3 orders from Nancy, because she knows that she can just go back in and place another order. I would rather spend the $3. It's not a requirement. It is a good tax write-off for me. And so I do offer that option. But I do remind everybody, even if they've already ordered, because I want them to know that if they want to place another order and get that reduced shipping, they can. And oftentimes I will get multiple orders at each individual party. But if you don't want to do that, you still need to remind everyone who hasn't ordered to order. Because like I was just doing Everybody Wins with a party that was supposed to close last Friday. And I just got 3 more orders for this one host. And she went from 500 to 798 or 778. So one more order, she's at $800. We went from 5 to 800. That's a huge, huge jump considering the extra bonus that's in play right now. And the Everybody Wins generates sales, bookings, and sometimes recruits. So it's a nice program to run consistently through your parties. Okay, now we're on the last day of the party and we're going to do our final welcome here, but we're also going to do a couple other adjustments. We're going to change the party group name. Now, I do it a little differently, but you can do it however you want. You can follow exactly what Stacy says, or you can do it however you choose. So I'll say Lori's Pampered Chef Party, last day to order. So let's say Lori is at $325 in sales. This says include amount from next level plus 100. Let's use what she used. So if the guest sales were $475, the amount would be $125. So it's $25 to get to 500 plus the $100, right? Well, my goal is to make sure that all my parties reach 650 no matter what. So if they have no sales and it's Tuesday, then I would say here, last day to order, $650 from the bonus. Guys, there are people that will say, Nancy's my best friend. I'm going to order $200 to help her get there, right? It happens every party. So my goal, no matter where they are, is to get them to 650. If they're already at 650, then I take this suggestion from Stacy. I get them to bump up to the next level and I add 100. But I want every host to get to 650 if at all possible, and most do. So this really does help. So she says when the party is not qualified, include the amount needed to reach 200. If you want to go this route, you can. But again, my goal is to help everyone get to 650. Then send the Wednesday host message to the entire group, send your individual thank you messages. And I would put a little note in your notes to say, this is step 5 is where I find the Google survey. You want to put the Google survey in your party on Wednesdays. I don't get a ton of bookings, but I would probably get about 1 to 2 every other party. So I would say, generally speaking, I get 1 booking per party through the Google survey. I tag everybody in the party. This Google survey here actually walks you through step by step, 5-minute video on how to set up the Google survey and how to get that link in the party. And so all of these little, you might have heard Stacy say sometimes do all the things all the time, don't do some of the things some of the time. And this is what she's talking about, like trying to hit all of these really, really important pieces, which the Google survey is definitely one of them. Oops. And then it says, tag all party members in the survey. And that's important too, because tagging everybody gives everyone that alert. Now, I will tell you, there's a trick. Some of us have the option called Everybody Win, or excuse me, some of us have the option that we can do the word at or do the symbol at and then type everyone. And then all of a sudden, everyone in the party gets tagged, right? But a lot of us don't have that. So I happen to find a workaround that's working every single party. So instead of taking my time to tag every individual person, I will do at the name of the party. I'll start typing the name of the party, and it tags everybody in the party just by doing that. So the Google survey's in there. I will do at and then the party name. Now, sometimes this is the caveat. Sometimes it won't let me post at everyone or at the party name in the body of the message. I'll have to push the message through, and then I'll have to go down to the comments, and it works every single time in the comments. So I'll just do at Lori's Pampered Chef Party, at Carol's Pampered Chef Party, and it tags everybody. And what happens is that tag goes into their Facebook Messenger. It's great. It's the greatest thing. I've actually tried this on some of the directors to ensure that this works, and it works every single time. So unfortunately, our Facebook makes us roll with these punches, but I will tell you that last week I almost got blocked because I did tag everybody individually. Lori and I were sitting on a call together and she's like, what's that? I'm like, that's the warning that you get when you try to tag everybody. So thankfully, I just got a warning and didn't get banned right from the start. So it's really good that you guys keep up with this stuff because Facebook changes on the dime. Last week, we could do something that we can't do this week. So it's helpful to stay present in these trainings. So then on the day after the party, so this is what we call post-party actions. This is Thursday. And this is typically Friday. And so again, you're just changing the party's name. You're sending all your thank you messages. You're sending the final host coaching message to the group. You're checking the party survey. You're adding all the gifts. You're announcing any ticket winners, so on and so forth. So again, what I would do is copy all of this, paste it into Thursdays on your Google Calendar, Outlook, whatever you use. Make it a recurring event. So every single Thursday, you know what you need to do for your party. Now, how I differentiate, because there are actions that are on Friday that are post-party, pre-party, and party, right? You could have 3 entirely different actions all on Friday. So if it's a pre-party, I'll put PP, which means pre-party, and here's the action. If it's party, I'll just put a P. For me, that means party. And then post-party is POP, post-party. So however you want to do it to differentiate, because there are going to be days where you're going to have triple the work or triple the actions, because there's several different things happening on those days, especially when you have parties week after week. Okay, and then the wrap up is just submitting the party and the host orders, tracking to make sure all the orders have been delivered a few weeks later, and then leave and pause the Facebook group. You used to be able to archive it, but now you just pause it. And I never really realized the importance of that. But like today, somebody from Cambodia wanted to come into one of my past parties. I wouldn't have known it wasn't a person that shouldn't have been in the party, but God knows what they could have posted in there, and people do. So it's a good idea to pause the party so nobody else can post after the fact. And I know some consultants have experienced where another consultant comes in from a different company and starts advertising their stuff, and it looks like you, and it's not a cool thing. So you want to pause it so nobody else has access to that group. So the last 2 steps are step 6 and 7. These are booking from your parties. And we're just going to glaze through these because they're pretty quick and we've already covered a lot about bookings, but I wanted to still make sure that you guys are aware that it's important that you do this tracking that we mentioned. So remember, these are your digital tracker, your printable tracker, or the all-in-one tracker. Again, the 3 ways that we're going to book from our parties would be the host booking challenge. We're going to do checkout chats. We're going to be messaging the non-ordering guest. And of course, we're going to be using the concept of everybody wins, or some people will call it, what do you call it? Bonus prize giveaway. So some people will do the bonus prize giveaway. That's what they call it. But everybody wins and bonus prize giveaway are the exact same thing. They're just different names. So here's your host booking challenge. Here's the wording and the image. Here are your words for the checkout chats. Here are the words for bonus prize giveaway. It says these options do not include an incentive to book. So if you don't want to give an incentive to book a party, then you're going to use these words down here. Okay, so these will give you additional options. And then it's just going to go over any objections that come about for booking. The booking store, it's going to give you a whole bunch of other booking ideas that maybe you haven't thought of before that will help you book your parties. But honestly, as a new consultant, just do everybody wins. It works every single time. So it's just doing it consistently is the key. When I wasn't doing it consistently, it didn't really work because I wasn't consistent. But then when I said, okay, Lorraine, enough is enough. You teach this, you have to do this, right? And so I just established a time that was going to work. And just like I brush my teeth every morning, I do everybody wins every day at 3 p.m. That's it. And it just gets done. Okay. Sometimes, honestly, like Sundays, sometimes I don't do them. But for the most part, if you miss a 24-hour slot, you missed it. You don't get to go back. So your timetable is 24 hours. If you do reach outs at 3 p.m. on a day, your clock starts ticking and you have to go, you can go back in 3 p.m. the next day, but if you go in earlier, you could get blocked. So you want to make sure you're tracking what you're doing. Okay, step 7 is recruiting training. So we're not going to go too heavily into this because we've already covered the basics of it. And what I want you to really, really think about are just a few things with recruiting. Number 1, it is the way to make much more money and the way to help others discover something they probably never knew was a possibility. I will tell you that working smarter, not harder is actually a very cliche type of statement. But I will tell you that there are consultants in the company that do lots and lots and lots of parties. And we may make $2,000 to $3,000 more than them a month because we recruit and help other people. So if you're going out and doing 20, 30 parties a week and you're not recruiting anybody, you are doing 100% of your effort is 100% of your output. But let's say you went in and did 10 parties a week or 4 parties a week and help new consultants consistently sign up, your money, you could potentially make more money than somebody who does tons and tons of parties per week, because you as an individual can only do so much. But when you have others doing the same thing that you're doing, it's where you get that unlimited growth potential. And that's truly how to have that opportunity for endless income. And that's truly where it comes from, is helping other people. Now, just as your recruiter is not coaching and training you on this call, you will not do that either. You are basically going to find these potential consultants, and then you're going to say, hey, Lorraine, I got this potential consultant. What the heck do I do? Right? And then I'm going to say, here are the words to send to them. And then we're going to take over for the coaching and training. So all you have to do is basically find them. We will help you get them signed, and we will help you we will do the coaching and training for them. So you always want to offer the business to the host 6 times. There are integral places to ask her. Number 1, today, I'm literally talking to a lady named Amy, or Connie, I'm sorry. And today I set up her party. The very first message in the party says, thank you so much for booking a party. Are we still on? She confirms, great. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the business. Here's the message. You send the message to her. Her message back to me was, And so I know I have somebody interested, right? So in all likelihood, I think she's going to sign up. We're going to flip that party right over. Her party has not even started. She gets all the commission. She gets all the bookings. She gets everything that comes from the party. And she's a brand new consultant on the team. She may end up saying no, but I highly doubt it because we've had a lot of communication. Then 2 days ago, same thing happened. Send the host coaching message out. She's like, you know what? I think I want to become a consultant versus you doing my party. Great, right? But that would not have happened if I did not use these messages that Stacy has provided for us. So if you follow the content that's in boards, it will say, here's the message that you send out to your host right away that confirms the party and asks her, before we get this party started, would you like to learn more about what we're doing as consultants? The answer is yes, or the answer is no. And sometimes they're not ready at the beginning of the party, but then something happens. They invite all these people and then they hit the next question. The next question says, offer the business when they have 30 people in their party. Why do we do that? We do that because there's 2 things that new consultants are concerned about. Are my friends going to join this party? And are my friends going to buy? Right? Those are the 2 things they're concerned about. And then the third thing that they think about is, would my friends book a party? They don't know any of this. They don't know how it works. And so we want to say, oh my gosh, Nancy, you have 30 people in your party. The words say you have 30 people in your party. Your friends not only love Pampered Chef, but they love you too. Would you like to learn more about what we're doing as consultants? Something along those lines. Again, it's just a copy paste, so I don't know the words verbatim. Then when they hit $200 in sales, that's my next message. It just says, hey, have you seen our kits? You can actually take a portion of your free product value and put it towards the purchase of a starter kit. That is not an ask. That's just a statement. So it makes it super soft. So if they've already said no, they're not interested on ask 1 and 2. Now you're just making a statement saying, look, we have $200 in sales already, and you could get started for $25 kind of thing. Then when they get their first booking, that is in a very, very important time. You should always ask them at that point in time, because who does a new consultant begin their business with? Their friends. So if you take their friend, who are they going to start with? So anytime my host gets a booking, it's an immediate ask them, hey, wanted to let you know your best friend or your friend Carrie or whatever the case may be, she just said she wants to have a party. And I wanted to share this with you one more time, because when a new consultant starts, this is who they begin with. And again, these are just not verbatim, but the words are in this very first offer here. So you're just going to click this. It's also in boards. You don't have to worry or think about it. Then we have posts that are in the party, right? We have a $500 post. We have a travel post. And what those posts do is they spark interest. So let me give you 2 places to be very alert in your party. One is at 7 p.m. every day but one day, I think. Every day at 7 p.m. we have a game, okay? Always make sure you're looking at those the next day. So you have a game tonight, look at those games tomorrow so you know who to reward. And then at 8 o'clock every day, we have a booking or a recruiting post. That 8 p.m. time slot is your moneymaker time slot. That's where you're going to get your potential leads for bookings and where you're going to get your potential leads for recruiting. So let's say somebody comments on the $500 post. You might be thinking, yikes, what do I do, right? Well, in boards, it says, here are your recruiting posts. Click this link, and it gives you the exact words to use. So let me show you. You go into boards. Sorry, my computer's slow. Okay, you go into boards, and then here we go. Booking and recruiting responses. So I'll click this. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Here it is. Recruiting post responses. Click that. Then it says, okay, this person talked about the $500 post. So they commented on the $500 post. So I'll comment on the post. Thanks so much, Nancy, for commenting on that post. I love, what you would use that money for or whatever. Then I'll take this and I'll click this and I'll just copy it and put it in a private message to Nancy. Thanks for sharing what you would do with an extra $500 in Susie's party. So many people are doing something like this all online as a side gig and loving it because it's so easy and takes very little time. Have you ever thought about doing something like this all online to earn a little bit of extra money? What's the worst they can tell you? No, right? No big deal. Move on, right? It's okay. Maybe they had a favorite perk. Maybe they commented on their favorite perk of the party and they said, oh, my favorite perk of the party was money. Great. I'm going to send you this message. So you're just literally going to follow boards and what it says. Here's the perks of the post business, and you can click here for more answers. So everything, again, is right here at your fingertips in boards. You just kind of have to navigate through. You're going to hit some speed bumps along the way because it's something that's not normal that you do. But once you become very well-versed in this, it's just literally clicks of a button here and there. So that is how, and again, you can kind of go through these. Some of these we've already talked about. The overcoming the objections are sitting there. The intentional follow-up, there's a 4-minute video there. So these are videos that you can watch a little bit later. And then offer the business. This is what I send to every single host as soon as they book their party. And then I have a recruiting lead tracker. So I keep track of every potential recruit lead because I don't want them showing up on somebody else's team, right? So we have to make sure that we keep good track of them so we don't lose them. So at the bottom of the 7 steps, there's one final link and it says other resources. If you click this link here, these are going to be all the boards that we have. Click this link, it's the how-to videos. Click this link, this is just helpful Pampered Chef groups that you can join. So again, they're all right here. So here's an example of all the boards. The host coaching board, the checkout chat board, the objections to hosting a party, the e-cookbooks, any how-to videos. They're going to be sitting here line by line by line. You just click the link and boom, you go into that particular board and it downloads onto your board system. Then these are any how-tos. So if you're thinking to yourself, okay, how do I find an e-cookbook? Well, I think Lorraine said they were in boards, but I don't know. So go to the 7 steps, click Control F. And when you click Control F, I just typed in the word booking. So that's there right now, but I can type in cookbook or cook. And here it is. Now I have access to the cookbooks. Or let's say I want to find something about Canva. Boom, here's Canva, how to save a Canva, how to link a Canva, how to make and edit a Canva. So everything's here. How do I add a future party? So let's put in the word future. Here we go. How to add a future party pick, how to add gifts, how to handle a booking after the party is submitted, how to track the orders, how to create a party on Consultant's Corner. Anytime in your brain you say how to, the next keyword is what you're going to want to type in Control F, and that's going to help you find it. But again, wave the white flag if you cannot find something. All Facebook actions are going to be here. How do I tag everyone on Tuesday? Here's how you do it. How do I message the guests that did an order? Here's how I do it. How do I fix my business page when I don't have groups? Everything is here right at your fingertips. And then finally, anything I need to do for my host my party, any reminders, the surveys, all sitting here. So again, everything, believe it or not, is right at your fingertips. And you guys saw this last week. This is Pat. You don't want to be Pat, right? She or he is by himself. He's sad. He can't figure things out because he's trying to do it all on his own. We want to be Hannah. Hannah is happy because she's reaching out to her leader. She's figuring out where things are located. She's having success. So just remember, asking questions is absolutely what we expect. We want to make sure that you're setting up some calls with us. So you want to make sure you set up 4 calls with us so you have at least a month's worth of connection with us and more if you want it. 4 parties a week is the key. Asking every host is the second one. And then asking as many people, at the very minimum, 5 people per party, to be a consultant, and you'll be a director in less than 90 days. It's happening right on our team right now. Several directors are about to promote as a result of just following this system. And it's truly the way that you can work, again, smarter, not harder. You guys have already completed the survey, so you're good to go there. And as we've talked about before, this is where you are supposed to be. You're in the right place at the right time. Our team is so growing quickly, and we have everything that you need to be successful. So just tap into these, to this 7 steps a lot. And as a result of that, you will feel a lot more accomplished, a lot more successful, and you'll start to figure out, where things are located, and all of a sudden everything is just going to start clicking. So I have a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions, I can hang out for a minute or 2, and then we'll scoot off. I've been on the call since 7 p.m. So I'm in like voice failure now, but thank you guys so much. But any questions that you guys have?
I just want to say, like today, yesterday I noticed a girl in my one party commented on the $500 a month. So today when I messaged her and I reached out to her, and it actually worked. Like I was so surprised that I actually got my first recruit. I was like really nervous because I thought she would say no.
Yeah.
But she said yeah. And I was like, what?
I know, right? And that's the momentum. Remember, we talk about the momentum when you're building your whirlpool of people to ask to host. It's the same thing. Now you've caught that excitement, and now it just like, sends you into this point where you're like, oh, this works. I'm going to ask this person, that person. And the quicker you ask, the faster you ask, the more yeses you get. And it happens very, very quickly. So when you have that momentum, you want to stay in that zone, right? Because that's what's
I already asked someone else on the way home too, and she's thinking about it.
Good. That's exactly what you want to do. It's all about the ask. That's it. Nancy, did you have a question?
I do, with the games.
Mm-hmm.
So a game posts on, like, we'll say Saturday. So when do you tell the members that the person that won? Do you do that at the end of the party? Do you do it the next day?
It's a personal choice. I've always notified them the next day, because even when I tried to hold off until the end of the party, I would have people saying, well, who won? And then they would think I wasn't rewarding the winner. And I didn't want to go through all that anymore. So I just decided that each day, 24 hours later, I was going to acknowledge the winner. And I always tag the host. Like I'll say, Lori won, the jelly bean game. Isn't that exciting, host Nancy? And that way Nancy knows that every game has been rewarded, because I don't want her to think that we went through the party and people were missed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's a good practice. Yep. Any other questions?
I am in the middle of a party we just extended because it was very slow starting, but people are asking questions about being consultants and everything else. And Julie's been a big help, but I had someone at the beginning of the party who was asking questions about being a host and possibly consulting, and then just kind of dropped off and disappeared. And
Mhm.
that didn't order or anything. I mean, now I have messaged her, but have gotten no response. Is there like a special one to?
Well, you cut out. I think you said did you message her? You're saying you messaged her on Facebook Messenger? We can't hear you if you're talking. So maybe you can hear me. So that does happen. You know, it's just the variable of the whole process. If that does happen and you've messaged her 3 times, I will usually then catch up with the host and I'll say, hey, Lori, you had a lady in your party, Jessica. She was super excited about hosting and super excited or started talking about the business, but I'm not sure what happened. Can you, oh, she left. Maybe she got disconnected. But basically with somebody like that, I would ask the host for some help and just say, hey, do you mind reaching out to her? Because maybe she's not getting my message, because that is a fact. People do not always get our messages. I don't always get other people's messages. So I will have the host, since she has a direct link to her, I will ask her to help me. Jessica, did you hear that?
No, I just got back. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, no worries. So what I was saying is that that does happen from time to time, where somebody will be really hot and then all of a sudden they just drop off. Did you say you were messaging them individually on Facebook Messenger, or you tried to?
No, I had done an ask for her and let her know, you know, that there were lots of things that she can gain by being a host, you know, that reach out. But after that, like, she had never responded to anything. And I really thought she was going to order. I mean, she was commenting on all the posts and the party and everything, and then just kind of stopped. So I
Okay,
didn't
so
know if there was a special one to go to for that.
well, let me ask you this, because I'm not sure if I heard you correctly. Did you say you did reach out to her individually on Facebook Messenger?
Yes.
Okay, and then what was your follow-up from there?
From there, I didn't get any response from her from there. I think you started using the follow-ups and for all the asks, but I haven't heard a single thing. So I didn't know if maybe there was something else I should reach out to her.
How
Like
many,
maybe just the reminders to order, because she didn't even order anything.
how many follow-ups did you do?
2.
Okay, so I would do one more, because I always do an initial ask, and then I do
Okay.
three follow-ups from there. And all of those
Okay.
words are in boards under that booking follow-up or recruiting follow-up, and their follow-ups are exactly the same. They're just changing the content from booking to recruiting. So the first message is basically the ask. The second one was, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I'm not sure. Did you get my message? Basically, they don't respond. And then the next one is, hope everything's okay. You know, feel free to catch up. And then the final one is, you know, I don't want to be a pest, but I don't want to drop the ball either. And then if they don't respond with that message, then my final opportunity to reach out would be to reach out to the host and just say, oh my gosh, Jessica, you know, your friend was super excited to host, and I'm not sure if something happened, but I do know Facebook Messenger has a tendency to block messages, and I don't want her to think that I'm not following up. So I blame it on Facebook, and it actually is the case sometimes, but oftentimes it gets that connection between the host and the guest going, and either it's she's not interested, or yes, she is, and she's not getting your messages, or she's just busy and hasn't replied. So I do solicit the host after the 4th reach out to her.
4th one. Okay. I just wasn't sure because she was asking about becoming a host, so I didn't want to push her away from, you know what I mean? I didn't know if she was waiting to the end of the party because we extended it. So I wasn't really sure if there was a different message that I should have been using.
No, if you're following the follow-up words in boards, then those are the messages that we use too.
Okay. Okay.
The last resort would be your host.
Okay. Perfect. Thank
And
you.
then the other thing is, one other piece that might help is that in the future, if you get somebody who's interested and they placed an order, but they're not following up with you, I would send them a text, because sometimes, again, it's a Facebook issue. And sometimes I think, oh, there it goes, you know, I'm losing this host, or I'm losing this potential consultant. Then I text them and they're like, oh, I never got the message. So it's that happens. But if you don't have a phone number, you're kind of out in that regard.
Yeah, I didn't get we didn't get quite that far.
Yeah,
So.
I'm sure. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, ladies, any other questions?
Mm-mm.
All good? Okay, so I'll download this and then send this out so you guys will have access to this, but just remember, just focus in on boards and your 7 steps. And then make sure you set up your call with your recruiter to get a couple of one-on-one coaching calls done so she can help you along as well. Okay? All righty, have a good night.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you
Have a
very
good night.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.